All right, so a day or two ago, I discovered a YouTuber named Lauren Knight Hughes, and I'm going to be just watching and making commentary on a video she created recently called Everything is Energy. Once I learned to think in terms of frequency, my life then shifted, and then is in all caps. So 1 minute into the video, she's talking about how it all comes down to frequencies. She mentions, like she did in a previous video, thoughts are things. That's a Esther Hicks teaching. She goes on to say that these ideas they sound kind of woo-woo and out there, but these are ideas that have been around for centuries and centuries, and they're just now becoming more popularized, and all of the popular teachers are talking about it. 2 minutes in the 17-minute video, she's talking about how from the ages of 16 to 23, she just had anxiety, depression, lived in her dad's basement for 5 years, lack of success. And she also says that learning how to either learning about enhancing or diminishing her frequencies, or AKA thoughts, she said has changed everything. So she's explaining kind of where she came from. And she's going in to talk about how does this work? How did she start to practice this? She says that we as people now are coming to understand that everything is thoughts. She shows, again, like in a previous video, kind of a panoramic background of the city she's standing in front of, and said that, everything we see all began as thoughts. Lauren Knight Hughes, 4 minutes in, she describes, as Esther Hicks does, she describes thoughts as being on frequencies, and them being on a continuum. The highest frequency she describes as being joy. The lowest frequency thought she describes as being shame. And there's everything in between, and all of the thoughts we think are somewhere along this continuum. She is talking about what her process was. She says that during the low frequency phase of her life, she would wake up feeling anxious, and in order to begin her practice, begin making the changes in her thoughts, she would listen to YouTube in the mornings. And I happen to know that she said in one of her previous videos that Esther Hicks is one of her biggest influences. And she said that before her thoughts were changed, her thoughts were affected by someone else's thoughts, by listening to somebody else's thoughts in the YouTube video. So she spent time with other teachers, and those thoughts, I believe she's probably going to go on to say that those thoughts gradually became her thoughts with repetitive listening. And she also adds that she added some movement, some physical movement at times to doing this in her morning practice. She said she got up 2 hours before work, so she got up early to do this stuff. Nice. Okay, nice. So 6 minutes in, she's talking about, after that hour-ish session of listening to YouTube and getting some relaxation of her mind and these wonderful thoughts, she would go to Starbucks typically, and she would write in her magic book. And writing in her magic book consisted of writing down all of the good things that happened to her yesterday, even little things, like she said, like the beautiful space she walked into yesterday when she had to do whatever the thing had to do, just appreciating the wonderful conversation that she had with the barista, just the little things. So lots of gratitude, lots of presence. Okay, fantastic. 7 minutes in, she's talking about how during her time writing in her magic book, she would also listen to uplifting music. She said it was usually instrumental and whatever kind of made her feel good. And she adds that music is also frequency, vibration, and that can affect ourselves as well. All right, 8 minutes. She again says thoughts are things, thoughts are what we become. What was the other thing I wanted to remember about this? Yes, she uses an analogy of an antenna. She says that with the practices that she was doing in the mornings, she said it was like her antenna was shifting, and I'm assuming that means that she was not receiving the negative vibes, but receiving the higher vibes, and the different things that she wanted, the different thoughts, vibes, connections with others, I'm assuming. I believe it is an Esther Hicks teaching that it is to not necessarily try to avoid or change the things we don't want, because that puts focus on those things, but to instead spend time thinking about what we have and what we do want, and feel the feelings of having those things, and be there in our emotions. And that for me has caused a lot of those things to manifest. 9 minutes. She adds that when she wrote in her magic book and wrote the detailed, extensive list of all the good things that happened the previous day, she felt the feelings. She felt the good feelings that go along with that. 10 minutes. She's explaining how the practice of writing in her magic book these good thoughts from the previous day, the good things that happened, affect her current day, because she's out there making notes of the good things, what the pretty bird, I think she says, or the warm day, and she's looking for those things. So if somebody in a grumpy mood, for example, is coming and going to pass her on the sidewalk, she can maybe sense that, see it from way far off, and just kind of look over that pretty bird. Focus her attention on that pretty bird. And that grumpy person isn't going to know that she's not going to be somebody that he's going to be able to engage with. And she won't even have that interaction with that grumpy person. She'll just have her collection of beautiful things for the day. She describes what she means by enhancing frequency, and it's, I believe, if I understand correctly, it's specifically that it is considering the previous day's good things and feeling those feelings, and just making them even higher vibration by remembering what they were in really good ways, and then letting that have an effect on today, and yesterday's vibes affect today's vibes. 12 minutes. She said it just came to me, and she's talking about an apartment. She needed an apartment in a new city. She'd had a vision for the kind of apartment she wanted, and she said it just came to me. And I believe that we work together. Our actions and the things we put out there, our actions are out there working in good ways, hopefully in good ways. Well, we're just sitting here making YouTube videos. And she said, because I elevated my frequency. And she continues to be apologetic about it, saying, I know it sounds kind of wooey, and stuff like that. And I continue to not understand how the word vibration or frequency, I understand that it's a real thing in music, in objects and atoms or whatever it may be. What I don't understand yet is how it is more than an analogy as far as our thoughts and actions, because our thoughts and actions are going out there into the world, and we are attracting things, and we do have focus and attention, and all of these things are true in practice, and I practice them. But I don't understand how vibration, as far as thoughts, is more than just a really good analogy at this point. But I'm open to finding out how. 14 minutes in, she mentions Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks again, and she mentions the word influence, and she seems to be motivated by the fact that she can influence others, and that is exciting and motivating. Okay, perfect. I imagined a nice shady spot in a nice scenic subdivision playground. I ate most of the cheese. Cheese, apple, sprouted bread. It's Ezekiel, sesame, tofu, low sodium turkey lunch meat with some naturey areas, and it's kind of hard to tell from this video, but nice hilly views. So, two takeaways of the Lauren Knight Hughes video, Everything is Energy. The full title is really long. Everything is Energy, and then like a vertical bar. Once I learned to think, all caps, in terms of frequencies, my life then, all caps, shifted. I like that. I like what she put inside all caps. And my takeaways are, I think I heard her tell this story, only in a slightly different way, a couple of days ago on a different video. And I like that. Why not make a new video with a slightly different story? It's good practice. Saying it's good practice. I woke up this morning thinking about templates. I use templates for my business communication, just copy and paste an answer to a frequently asked question. Well, why not make video templates and voice templates and written templates, and take all that art and layer it, rework it, practice it, So that's one thing I'm getting from her. I'm like, did I see this exact video, or is this like the same thing, only slightly different? I'm not sure, actually. And the other thing I'm getting is, she said where she was. She said where she was, what she did, and what it's like now. Everything is energy. Once I learned to think in terms of frequencies, my life then shifted. So I like that. I think I'll start off with the meditating first. No, I'll start off with the walk, because I want to move and stretch a little bit. Maybe 15-minute walk, and then a 15-minute meditate, and then it smells really good out here. Sounds like summer. Smells like summer. The sky is a beautiful color blue, It's a pleasant temperature. There's a nice breeze. Yeah, I think I want to just kind of go to some different places this afternoon and meditate. Maybe meditate for 15 minutes per hour in the shady place that I find. Alright, so I love it here. It's beautiful to be sitting on the ground. I like that there's another family here. It started off, when I first got here, there was a mom and a little boy. She said hi. Then kind of a grandpa joined them. I don't know where he came from. Then another car pulled up and it was a couple, and they joined this group. Now this group is like 5 or 6 people, and apparently they all know each other, and they're just chatting, having a nice day in the park. So I really appreciate, even though they're there and we're not conversing, I can kind of hear their talking and their joy and their socializing in the background, and it's just creating a really nice environment. Okay, so I love that I can do this anywhere. This is very good. Alright, so the reason why we're an old school digital watch, this is Iron Man by Timex, is because I can keep a 15-minute preset timer. I use it for mainly taking 15-minute breaks, meditating for 15 minutes, exercising, yeah, just pacing myself. I like doing things in little increments. So all I have to do to start it is just press the start button, and it'll go beep, beep, beep in 15 minutes. It's so beautiful. Alright, let's talk about some stuff for 15 minutes, and then it'll be time to drive to the new location. Remind myself of where my business is evolving and where I want it to evolve. So right now I have 35 in-person piano students, and one of the ways I want my business to evolve is from in-person lessons to all online lessons. And I imagine being able to travel in my vehicle to different places and give the piano lesson from my vehicle or from a local library, and be able to go chase the 70s, so to speak, go where it's warm and scenic, and have that be part of my vlog, and the online lessons being an income source. So I'm excited about that. Here in my paperless app, I also have a page called Edit and Post, and first I edit my video, I create my video, then I save it to my files, then I save the actual video in my photos, then I create the thumbnail, and then I post it on my MindfulDriver Facebook page. So it just takes me through about maybe 15 or so items that, kind of done in a routine way, makes posting in the various places and those little details of the process pretty easy, because they're all just listed right here. as a minimalist, I don't really have things that sit there unused or unlooked at. So I put this in a place where it will get tended to and be part of my vision. I'll think about it each day and think about the now abundance, think about the next abundance. One index, one place for the now abundance and the next abundance. I feel like I'm on vacation. What is this? This is Lake in the Hills, Illinois. It's a public beach. Driving up here was starting to get hilly. And at one point, coming over the ridge of one of the hills, I felt like I was gonna keep driving into the sky. You know how some of those really steep hills are? It was a leisurely drive up here. So it looks like this is a place where there are, this is beautiful. All right, sitting down to dinner, about to continue watching Northern Exposure. Dinner is black beans, salt, pepper, celery, red bell pepper, green onions, sardines. Is that everything I have in there? Did I forget anything? Yeah, that's everything on that plate. And then on this plate I have fat-free Greek yogurt, some mixed berries, chia, and cornflakes. Breakfast, red bell pepper, tofu, sprouted, 2 pieces of sprouted bread. I get sesame, Ezekiel, red pepper hummus, low sodium turkey lunch meat, non-fat Greek yogurt, almonds. Yeah, so this is a coffee table and it's also a light table. I have 1,250 days to go on my restricted driving permit. Monday 21 of consecutive vlogging. 7 subscribers, wow, that's amazing. And I woke up this morning kind of thinking about templates, pre-written things, pre-written voice recordings, and using those templates to piece together, putting this voice recording with this photo, with this video, etc., to make, to piece together a new creation from things I've already created. She ends the video by saying, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're happy. That's nice. I like that. I like her well wishes at the end of the videos. And that's my sentiment as well.